Have you ever noticed something strange? The more people talk about financial freedom, the more stressed they seem to become. They read investing books, they listen to finance podcasts, they watch videos about passive income, they track every dollar. And yet somehow, instead of feeling free, they feel trapped. It's a weird contradiction. After all, financial freedom is supposed to be the ultimate goal, the dream, the finish line, the point where money stops controlling your life. But what if the way most people think about financial freedom is actually making them less happy? What if the chase itself becomes a trap? Because that's exactly what happens to more people than you might think. And the scary part is that most don't realize it until years later. Let's talk about the financial freedom trap nobody talks about. Imagine two people. The first person earns enough to pay their bills, save a little money, enjoy weekends with friends, and sleep peacefully at night. The second person is obsessed with becoming financially free as fast as possible. Every expense feels like an enemy. Every purchase creates guilt. Every free hour must be monetized. Every hobby must become a side hustle. Who do you think feels more free? Most people would immediately say the second person. After all, they're working toward freedom. But often, it's actually the first person, and that's where the trap begins. Many people start their financial journey with a simple goal. They want options, they want security, they want peace of mind. But somewhere along the way, the goal changes. Financial freedom stops being a tool, it becomes an obsession. And once that happens, life starts revolving around a future that never arrives. Psychologists call this arrival fallacy. It's the belief that happiness exists on the other side of some future achievement. I'll be happy when I make six figures. I'll be happy when I invest my first $100,000. I'll be happy when I reach financial freedom. The problem? The goalpost keeps moving. You hit one milestone, then immediately create another. You save $10,000. Now you want 50,000. You reach 50,000. Now you want 100,000, then 500,000, then a million, then early retirement, then complete financial independence. The destination keeps getting further away. And because you're always focused on the next milestone, you never feel like you've arrived. It's like running on a treadmill. You're working harder and harder. But psychologically, you're standing in the same place. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Most people think money problems come from not having enough money. Sometimes that's true. But once basic needs are covered, many financial problems become psychological rather than mathematical. Think about it. A person earning $50,000 can feel secure. A person earning $200,000 can feel terrified. Why? Because fear isn't always tied to reality. It's tied to perception. The more wealth people accumulate, the more they sometimes fear losing it. A small investment portfolio becomes a larger portfolio. Then every market drop feels painful. Every headline feels threatening. Every economic downturn feels personal. Instead of money creating freedom, money creates anxiety, not because money is bad, but because their identity becomes attached to their net worth. And when your self-worth becomes connected to your wealth, every financial fluctuation starts feeling like a personal attack. That's exhausting. Now, don't get this wrong. Building wealth is important. Investing is important. Saving money is important. Financial freedom is a worthwhile goal. The trap isn't pursuing financial freedom. The trap is sacrificing your entire life for it. Imagine spending 20 years postponing happiness. You skip vacations, ignore relationships, work constantly, turn every conversation into money talk, reject experiences because they aren't productive. Then one day you finally reach your target number, and suddenly you realize something. The life you were trying to build was supposed to be enjoyed along the way, not just at the end. It's similar to climbing a mountain. If you're only staring at the peak, you'll miss every beautiful view during the climb. And when you finally reach the top, you may discover the journey was the most valuable part. This doesn't mean you should spend recklessly. It doesn't mean you should stop investing. It doesn't mean financial goals don't matter. It means balance matters. Because financial freedom isn't actually about having infinite money. It's about having enough control over your time and choices. That's a very different definition. Many people assume financial freedom has a specific dollar amount attached to it, but that's not always true. For one person, financial freedom might mean retiring early. For another, it means working fewer hours. For someone else, it means being able to leave a toxic job. For another person, it means spending more time with family. The number isn't the goal, the lifestyle is. And when people forget that, they fall into the trap. They spend years optimizing numbers while neglecting the life those numbers were supposed to support. The most financially successful people often understand something simple. Money is a tool, nothing more, nothing less. A hammer is useful, but nobody worships a hammer. Nobody builds their entire identity around owning the world's greatest hammer. It's simply a tool that helps accomplish something else. Money works the same way. Its purpose is to create opportunities, flexibility, security, and experiences. The moment money stops being a tool and starts becoming the destination, the relationship becomes unhealthy. And that's when the freedom trap takes hold. So, what's the solution? A simple question. Instead of asking, how much money do I need before I'm free? Ask, what kind of life am I trying to create? That question changes everything. Because once you know the life you're aiming for, money becomes a supporting character instead of the main character. You stop chasing wealth for the sake of wealth. You start using wealth to build a meaningful life, when ironically, that's when financial freedom becomes much easier to achieve. Not because you suddenly earn more, but because you're no longer trapped in an endless cycle of more. You finally know what enough looks like. And that's a powerful thing. In a world that constantly tells you to earn more, invest more, and accumulate more, the real challenge isn't building wealth. The real challenge is knowing why you're building it in the first place. Because financial freedom isn't about escaping work forever. It's not about becoming rich enough to never think about money again. It's about gaining the ability to spend your time on what truly matters to you. And if you sacrifice everything that matters while chasing that freedom, you may reach the destination only to discover you lost the reason you started the journey. That's the financial freedom trap nobody talks about. And the people who avoid it understand one simple truth: money should improve your life, not become your life.